this, our story that he's telling now, our people in the homeland, the ESN, the Biafra Liberation Army, are all the victims of what he has counted. Why can't Emaleli Wanyamu, why can't all these fools listen to him and learn? Rather, in the communities, why he is raising his own police and army is because there is no police. All the police and the army in Katsina State that's supposed to be there has been sent to Biafra land. So he have to protect his own people by his own effort, with his own two hands, with his own money, with his own government.
And he equipped them with guns. He equipped them not with sticks, so not with catapults, but with guns. Because Bidiani should be as you go, Bidiani should be going anyway.
I want another video where they explained it. Just be watching. The video long too much. Listen.
All the gadgets that you may need, security equipment, life jacket, helmet, night goggle, vision, and the rest of it, they were all kitted and ready for the job, as you have seen last week. And we have followed all the red light regulations, and we were doing it along with the security agencies. The aim is to support this conventional security to address the issue. The operation, all their authorized arms were deposited with the DPOs in the local government. When they have an assignment, they pick it and they go together with the police and the army. The essence is to have more number that can confront this problem. Because we promised, and the problem we are encountering in Nigeria, because one politician speaks, they thought it's one of those things. It's one of the promises of the politician. People regard politicians as liars, betrayers. But governance is not all about that. Governance is about life and property of people. And if you will be able to sacrifice, to resign all what you are doing, and take a risk of contesting election, not knowing whether you will win or you will lose, so I think it's a big business. Business that has to do with the lives or properties of people is a big business. We shouldn't take it lightly. That is why I made sure that my campaign promises are met. I was able during my campaign to visit all the 361 wards, even those that security advised us not to go. We took the risk of going. We have seen what was happening in those places. We have seen it from the eyes. We have seen it emotionally. You can feel it. The kind of suffering people are undergoing. And you can imagine yourself. Take it that it's your father or it's your mother that is being killed. How will you feel? If you don't have empathy, putting your shoes in the position of those people, you will not appreciate the kind of pains they are undergoing. I hate to hear the word ethnicity in this. There is nothing like ethnicity in it. People were saying it's Hausas and Fulani. It's a lie. If it happens somewhere, it's not in Katsina. Because you will hardly see a pure Fulani man or a pure Hausa man in Katsina. You see that maybe your father is Hausa, your mother is Fulani. You see that maybe you are both Fulani. You see that you are mixed. So the issue of ethnicity, we don't even have it. That is why in some nomenclature in Nigeria, they call it Hausa Fulani, because it's hardly to differentiate who is Hausa and who is Fulani. It is only people in the bush that you regard as Fulani. I am Fulani. My mother is a Fulani woman. Her relatives are still in the bush. My father is a Fulani man. So no one is going to talk to me about ethnicity. It's nothing like ethnicity. It's about killing innocent people. It's about kidnapping innocent people. It's about creating problems to the innocent people, disrupting their economic activities. And whatever tribe you are, if we are involved in this thing, I will deal with the situation, because there is nothing like ethnicity in crime. So that is the reason why we took the bull by the horn. We invested a lot of resources in this, despite the infrastructural challenges we are having, despite the problem we have in education, despite problem we have in health sector, despite the huge burden of debt in our state. But we have to leave everything and compromise security, because you go to school when there is peace. You go to hospital when there is peace. You go to market when there is peace. If you don't have peace, you don't do anything. So we must confront insecurity. If that is the only job I will do as a governor for 4 years, I will do it. And I know God will support me in doing this. God knows our mind. We want to deal with this situation, and we need to support the federal government, because we know that the security agents that we have in the country cannot be able to support the innocent lives in the villages. It is my firm belief that there is need for us to encourage, and that was the reason why, since when we started as Northwest governors, immediately after our inauguration, we met and we look at issues that were confronting us in the North. Basically, it's insecurity. The insecurity issue is more devastating in the Northwest now than the Northeast, because Boko Haram is almost defeated in the Northeast. The other element of Boko Haram that were left there have moved to the Northwest, supporting the bandit. So it is important for the concentration of the federal government in the Northwest now, having the highest population in the country. Those people, we are the ones that have more disadvantage in terms of education. And with this insecurity that is challenging our people, the educational challenge will be more. Because some schools were closed, economic activities were shut down in some locations. And everybody knows that the strength of Katsina State is agriculture. If you cannot go to the farm, there will be a problem. There will be a problem of food insecurity in the state. We need to confront this problem, and we need to do it now. So immediately after our inauguration, we went and saw Mr. President after our first meeting. We told Mr. President that why we were elected as governors in the Northwest is because we promised that we will fight insecurity. So the only thing that Mr. President should do to Northwest now is to support Northwest in terms of insecurity. We need it more than any other thing. Then the other one is the livelihood of the people, which is agriculture. But that, by the way, is only when you secure people who are in peace that you can go to other sectors of the economy. We met, and during the commissioning of this community watch corps in Katsina State, we invited all the Northwest governors, and they were all there. After that inauguration, we were able to meet again, so that all of us together we can fight this thing. And the only way we can achieve success in our fight towards insecurity in the state is if we come together to fight it. Because all my 8 local governments, about 7 of the local governments are bordered Zamfara. So if I'm able to do something in Katsina and Zamfara was unable to do it, it means we are not, they will move to Zamfara. After some time, they will come back to us. But if they are confronted from both sides, we'll be able to manage the situation. And as I speak to you, Zamfara State Governor, the State Assembly of Zamfara were able to pass the bill for this same civilian JTF. Sokoto State, last week, they have inaugurated a committee to work out on the modalities on how to come about this outfit. Kaduna State, I saw them, there are some people already in the police college receiving training. So it is only when we have a coordinated approach on insecurity that we can be able to muzzle it out and to be able to fight it. That is why it is very important for the members of the press to support this initiative, because we are the only ones that can help our country. If we portray the country in a better image, the country become better. If we portray it in a bad light, the country become bad. If we go to some places, you see Nigerian, you see criminality. All the nice and better side of the country are not being projected well. We need your support in this direction. The country needed you most than any other time. It's not only about the politician. I've been saying it. I myself alone cannot fight insecurity. We need the cooperation of the people, the community, the stakeholders. Because the people in the bush cannot be able to come to town and attack people if they don't have informants. The informants will sleep with them in the same roof. We eat with them. So it is only, it's a two-way system. So if somebody is talking about ethnicity, the informants that are living in the town, if you call them houses, they are houses. So they are conniving with the planners to do all these things. We are not sparing anybody. The most difficult aspect is if you can only trust yourself, you don't know the next person near you, what was in his mind and what he was doing with others. Informants are everywhere, among us politicians, among the key government functionaries, among the police, among the army. We find them everywhere. Sometimes if a flight is taken off from Katsina by the Nigerian Air Force to fight the insecurity, once it took off, somebody will call the bundle and tell them that, yes, hide, these people are coming. That is why we could not end this situation. If we are going by road, some people will call them, the troops are coming. So that is why they normally ambush the security. Because they have a prior information, and the information is coming from us. It's not coming from elsewhere. So it's a collective responsibility. The society has to wake up, and we shouldn't be cowards. Cowards in the sense that we allowed young men, very lean, not well fed. They will come on 2 motorcycles with 2 AK-47 and threw everybody and pushed everybody into running. Thousands of people. You only die once. You can't die 2 times. We have to confront this situation. If we are confronting the situation, these people will not be challenging us this way. So this is a collective responsibility. So I'm calling on the community also to contribute with information, to contribute whatever support suspicious activities. If you see a young man who is jobless, doing nothing, with a new car or a new motorcycle, people start asking questions about their children, about their neighbors, about the community. If we don't do that, we cannot achieve success. So it's a collective responsibility. And since when we inaugurated this community watch officers, the criminality has reduced in the state. For 2 days now, I've not had a report of kidnaps or of killings. It has reduced drastically, and a lot of people were being arrested, including the informants, and being handed over to the security. So if all the state will do exactly what we did, I'm telling you, criminal will have no place to hide in our country, despite the difficult terrain of the forest, which they are more used to the forest than us. But the locals who are from those communities, they also know the terrain, they know the topography, they know where they hide, and they know all the information about them. That will make the fight easy. We pray to Almighty God to support us in this direction, to make Nigeria a safer place, to make Katsina State a better place for economic prosperity. Now, as I speak to you, there are some traditional rulers who were identified. And those ones were already under scrutiny. So anybody, we are not sparing anybody, I'm telling you. Even a commissioner in my regime, anybody, I'm telling you, nobody I'm going to spare is found to be involved in one criminal activity or the other. We are talking about the lives of 10 million people, not one single individual. No one single individual is more important than 10 million people or the lives of an innocent person in the village. So we are trying as much as possible to see how we can gather. We are gathering a lot of information and intelligence together with the intelligence we are getting from the DSS, so that together we can build a network that we can arrest and prosecute any person found wanted. And you know, to address the insecurity in the state, in the bill that established this community watch corps, we came up with various committees. We have the State Committee of Security, we have the Local Government Committee on Security, we have the district and the ward committees. And the responsibility of these committees is to monitor the activities of this community watch corps. Secondly, is to also guide buying of a house, leasing of a house, sale of a plot, or sale of a house. So that committee must verify the person who is going to rent a house, to sell a house, to sell a plot, or whatever, so that we may not be harboring or housing criminals within the communities. Because as we stand today, anybody can go and rent a house as he likes, whether we know him or we don't know him, whether he has any credibility or identification. But now we make sure that you must provide a lot of identification before we accept you in our society, because doing that is what creates a lot of criminalities and activities. You will see, because most of the leaders of the bandit leaders, they don't live in the bush. They live in our cities that are peaceful. They will come and buy a house, keep their wives and children, and they will go to the bush, do their act, and come back. So if we have this thing in place, that whoever is coming, whoever is your know your neighbor approach, so it is going to help a lot in reducing the incidence of the criminalities in our society. We cannot fold our arms and say that, look, we are not going to protect ourselves because we don't have sophisticated arms that the bandit has. But we have the numbers, and we have the zeal, and we have the determination. And you should remember, if they are going for any outing, it's just the way it was done in Borno through the civilian JTF. They will be covered by the police and the military, who are heavily armed. So I think it's a concerted effort, and it's a joint effort. But gradually, we are working within what the laws allowed us to possess. We cannot go beyond what the laws allow us to do. So we are driving towards that, and we are seeking reforms within the federal government in that regard, so that if a bandit can go to the market and buy AK-47, RPG, and all these kind of weapons, what of people that are supposed to protect themselves? They should equally be. These people are holding it illegally. We are trying to hold it legally. Why can't the government allow people to have this thing so that they can equally confront the challenges? I'm telling you, they have panic. These people is not what this thing needs is courage. If you have the courage to confront it, and you should remember, armies are being killed, police are being killed. So whoever sacrificed to offer this kind of service, they cannot rule out being harmed or killed or injured in the course of doing his assignment. This is a sacrifice that one has to make. This is a sacrifice one has to make in dealing with this kind of situation. Even myself, I have been receiving so many threats. But that will not deter me. I have told you earlier, I will only die once. I will not die twice. And it's only a coward who will sit in his room and allow someone to kill him. It's an obligation of us to protect ourselves.
I like this. You see what he just said? Did you hear what he just said?
Go on, go on.
He said it is only a coward that will sit in his house and allow people to come and kill him. Now, this guy, I don't want to insult him because he is speaking like a human being. He's not talking like a cow, like others from his domain. But you can see, this is the same. Is it not the same thing that Masnam Dekano have been saying? You know, bandits, terrorists are armed. Now, this one is now saying that they have already acquired all these things. And the truth is that as he's saying this thing now, and it's making it sound as if they need permission for the people to start using all those weapons. It's a lie. Oh. They are armed and they are using the weapons that they bought for them. He said they bought, excuse me, they bought about 65 Hiluxes and machine guns that they bought and given to people they trained. They are using them. But this same guy now, talk about ESN. This same guy now, talk about ESN. You will see him say those ones are terrorists. Talk about IPOB. IPOB, which doesn't even carry arms, because IPOB is the indigenous people of Biafra. Now, Eastern Security Network is the security arm that we have empowered to protect ourselves from the same idiotic elements that they are also crying out about. Not only are we protecting ourselves against those animalistic people, we're also protecting ourselves against the people that they legitimately give guns and call them herdsmen. You understand? We're also fighting against them. So we are fighting against two dreaded, wing, and even more of their cadet or their group. But they are only talking about the ones that are already being masterminded or paid by some politicians or these colonial masters. You understand? So what are we talking about here? This guy is saying this thing, and as he's saying it, he's doing it. He's already enforcing the things he's saying. But we will do, they want to attack us. God are the days when they threaten us. Today, our men are in the streets of Biafra land. We are no longer hiding in the bushes. Because before they will say, we went and we dismantled their camp. Now, our camp is within the people. You come and you know, we'll teach you a lesson you will not forget in a hurry. God are the days when we will hide and fear you. In Biafra land now, we protect ourselves. Now, we don't care whatever becomes of your own side of the divide, because for years and years upon years, you people have supported and masterminded the elimination of our people. Young people, sometimes they are sleeping and they break into their houses. You pay the idiotic governors. I get beginning to canon very soon, because before the benediction of this year, I'm telling you, there won't be any senator or house of rep that will comfortably say they are living in Biafra land. I got to cash on one after the other. God are those days when we will give them British space in our land. We will identify you as a zoo sympathizer or a zoo supporter or enhancer. We will deal with you abruptly, immediately. Mazu, go take the microphone from me, please.
Okay. Thank you, Ralph. So, Biafrans, why I allowed him to play very well, I don't want to talk inside, because of the warning and the threat YouTube is giving. As if I am just digging up lies against the governor of Katsina. You heard him. You heard everything he said. And now I'm going to bring another version of the news so you go listen as well. That is why, you know me, I know the way to 1 minute. If you talk one, I go explain, I go talk them, enter, dissect them, dissect them, rotate them, dilute them. But I leave and make it talk. So YouTube, Facebook, I am not lying against anybody. I only bring the true news. We are not promoting violence. If we are promoting violence, you know that this governor you see here is promoting violence. Emmanuel Iweanyanwu, Hope Uzodimma, Ifeanyi Uba, and all your likes. If you could not come and tell this man that, what do you call him? If you cannot stand up and call your President Tinubu to declare state of emergency in Katsina, you should withdraw your words and go and hide in shame. Because waiting this man talk now from beginning to the end, now the same thing wey me the talk, where all Biafrans they fight for, where Mazen Nnamdi Kanu they talk, where may they carry Mazen Nnamdi Kanu go through inside dungeon. No different thing. He watches people being murdered, watches people being raped, watches people being pushed into IDP camp, and you want him to keep quiet. And this man here is telling you that you have the right to get AK-47 to defend yourself. Let's go over to the other side of the news.
Thank you for staying with us. With insecurity remaining a major challenge in the country, some persons like Katsina State Governor Dr. Diko Umaru Brada is advocating for civilians to own arms to be able to defend themselves in the face of danger. He wants the federal government to allow individuals to buy and own weapons such as the AK-47 rifles and RPGs. Recall that this is not the first time a governor is asking the citizens own guns to defend themselves. The big question is, should Nigerians be allowed to carry AK-47 rifles? Joining us from our studio in Abuja is an international security risk management consultant, Commodore Abimbola Ayuba, retired. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, with the security situation on the ground, we know that this is not the first time a governor is suggesting this. We recall that the former governor of Benue State, Samuel Ortom, also had mentioned that perhaps it was high time for the people of the state to, arm themselves against those who were, invading their farms and killing them at the time, so to speak. The security situation in at the state at the time was quite concerning for the governor. But when you look critically at the situation of arming ourselves, is self-defense the way to go when we are talking about addressing this security challenge?
Thank you very much, Veronica. It's almost like the case of the chicken and the egg. The current uproar and demand for the states to be empowered to use or acquire arms to protect the citizenry is being propelled by the frustrations of people and the perception that perhaps the policing actors can no longer protect the ordinary citizen of Nigeria. And based on that sense of responsibility, perhaps this is one of the reasons why state governors are clamoring to have some kind of weapon to at least provide that line of self-defense, and therefore creating assurances for the people that they can be self-preserved and, of course, resist to a certain extent incursions or attack by either bandits or terrorists or whatever groups in all their ramifications. And therefore, this debate is now upbeat And there's need to look critically at the need and review, perhaps go back to the Firearms Control Act of Act number 32 of 1959, Cap F28, Laws of Federation of Nigeria, which is still the extant law that regulates the control of arms in Nigeria. As of 1959, Nigeria was yet to get independence. So if we still comfortable using that particular act to drive events when the entire global security balance have changed, where threats have changed, dimensions of criminality have changed, then there's need for a lot of introspection. And in fact, to my mind, there's supposed to be a state of emergency declared on this issue of small arms and light weapons proliferation to ensure that the state is able to have the upper hand to control the use of arms and to determine who or what strata of society can actually possess arms, and denying people of their right to self-defense is also inimical to rights of human beings, human rights of people. So there is a new thinking that we could go down and allow, at least at the level of community policing, the level of state policing, allow some degree of weapons to be carried in order to create those desired layers of protection for the citizenry. But when this is done, I believe this clamor will be minimized, and of course, the lives and properties may be better safeguarded. This is my take on this.
So are you outrightly saying that you subscribe to what the governor has said, that people should be allowed to bear arms? As you mentioned that the Firearms Control Act of Nigeria should be looked into.
Oh, well, the governor is entitled to his opinion. He's the governor of the state. And as you are aware, Zamfara is in the forefront of banditry, terrorism, of course, because of his geopolitical position and proximity to the borders and, of course, the Sahel. And it's becoming home or the headquarters of terrorism in Nigeria. And here comes a governor who has assessed the situation. And don't forget that the governor himself has other state security apparatuses that report to him that provide the information. But, you know, when someone is frustrated and you make all the efforts to get sufficient protection and you don't get, and people get killed every day, the people will rather go back to say, no, we gave the state charge to look after us. And then constitutionally, the welfare, the notion that the welfare and security of the citizenry shall be the primary purpose of government as enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria will readily come to mind. So this is why I advocate that there should be a rethink. It's not that every Tom, Dick, and Harry should now be brought to a very large state armory and be issued AK-47 is an assault weapon, and it's a military type weapon that is not really designed for close quarter battle, security of communities, protection, and all that. But it has become the weapon of choice for terrorists, terrorism, bandits, kidnappers, all sorts of criminals, because of the ease of its usage. You don't need to go to acquire a degree to use the AK. You only need minimum training. And of course, if you go back to the various concepts of small arms and light weapons, Do we understand that small arms and light weapons do not fire themselves? It is people that use them, and how they use them, and it's what impacts on society. And it brings me to the issue of the policing actors, whether they are actually enough or lopsided. Because according to the United Nations recommendation, one police officer is expected to protect 450 citizens. And if you look at that and compare with what is existing in Nigeria, at least by available statistics, we have one police officer to 650 citizens. And so that brings up a shortfall of about 190,000 policemen that needs to be recruited and used. And that is one, to meet up with the UN recommendation. But that is not happening. Even though the police is trying to recruit, the recruitment process is not adequate and is far between. And in the intervening period, you will see that the deployment of police officers also is lopsided. And it will appear as if police officers are more used in protection of VIPs and in protection of state officials, much more than that which is recommended, that one policeman should be available to protect 450 citizens. So you can just take a cursory look across what happens in convoys all over the country and see how many policemen, civil defense men, soldiers will be seen escorting VIPs, and how many
Oga, talk through. The policemen who there for Biafra land, now they fool. All the police, we suppose they Zamfara, we suppose they Katsina, we suppose they Jigawa, we suppose they anywhere. They carry them go Biafra land, and they know they again. They don't go Biafra land. From Biafra land, they don't enter another place. With that whole day there, where they follow come out, me, I don't know. Once they enter there, they come out. BIAFRANS, why? Anyway, if you remember what that man said, I want you to listen to Mazen Nandekano and tell me the difference.
Because what I am saying, Honorable Manyamini, our people are lame. They are weak. I am struggling to count how many men there are in Biafra land. There are no more men left. Weak, docile, and imbecilic. Weak. I don't know how we can take such people to war. I don't know how we can take men who are not men into battle and win. I am ashamed. Very, very ashamed. Nonetheless, we must preach this very gospel because man did not ask us to come. Chukwa Abiyama in heaven mandated that we should come. If not, that I was called to do this very work, I will not speak to any of you anymore. But Chukwa Abiyama said this very gospel must be preached, and we must preach it. I have prayed since yesterday up until now. My request is very simple. The same prayer I made in secret, I will make out here in the open. Chukwa Abiyama Biko, since it is your intention that your kingdom will be restored upon this very earth, I need men. I need men. I did not say boys. I said I need men. Those of them that you created to restore your kingdom, they should come forward now, not tomorrow, not next year. Chukwa Abiyama. You must bring them now. I did not say tomorrow. Because the insult is too much. It is beyond what any human being can endure. We want to go and get Biafra or we die in the process, because we are better off dead than witness some of this nonsense going on. The level of insult is beyond what any decent human being can tolerate. They bring their cattle into our land. They desecrate our land. They kill us in the presence of our families, and nobody does anything about it. And when the police attend, the police sit idly by as people are being killed by not a multitude of people. Only 4. Only 4 Awasa people can sack an entire village in Biafra land, and we call ourselves men. No, we are not men until we redeem our honor, until we look at integrity and say we must have a part of it. Until then, to be honest with you. This is Radio Biafra. Now is the time to come forward. I did not say tomorrow. Now, tonight, is the time to come forward. 100 of us, and then we march. 100 and we march. The rest can come later if they want to. I'm tired of broadcasting. I want to fight for my country. I want to carry arms to defend the honor and integrity of my country. I want to avenge the death of 6 million people. I want Biafra to stand as a beacon of hope, freedom, and liberty in black world. I want Biafra to stand as a testament to the glory of heaven upon the face of this very earth. I want Biafra to stand because my obligation to the dead outweigh that which I owe to the living. That is why Biafra will stand, and Biafra will come. 100 men, that's all. And we march. The rest can come later on. I no longer give a damn. The disgrace and the insult is too much. We must go and meet our enemies, even if we have only machete and hoes. It is far more better for us to go and meet them and die with a semblance of dignity than with this very humiliation which we encounter every blessed day. We must assemble as quickly as possible.
Now, Biafrans, when you hear Mazen Nande Kano, you hear this governor of Katsina State. I don't know what's different. So if this man could be a governor, buying arms to equip his people to guide and protect the communities, why are they kidnapping Mazen Nande Kano? If this man have called on all the victims of this terrorism going on in their states, and they come out, some say their mama they rape them, some say their papa they kill them, some say their house they burn them, some say their daughters has been raped, their wives were raped before their own very eyes, yo. Is it not the same thing Mazen Nande Kano is saying here? Why kidnapping Mazen Nande Kano? Why? And the YouTube will have guts to come and warn me. Lock them. Make una lock them quick. I no send. If you want to talk, you talk. I beg. Make we see whether BIAFRANS want come in or want talk before we go.
Yeah, thank you very much, my brother. Yeah, there's only one thing I identified, which other people might call in with a different opinion, because you're asking what is the difference between what he is saying and what Mazen Nande Kano is saying. It may be sounding the same, but that is a completely different approach. The approach is that with Mazen Nande Kano is trying to protect his own land from invaders. These people are invading our land. But this man is not fighting against invaders. He is confronting elements within their own setup that are just causing a level of destabilization to bring the attention of their leaders, to also make sure that they create a scenario whereby they might possibly equip their own brothers that the bandits have not been able to recruit into their ranks, so that they will also give them arms to begin to fight the same thing that those bandits are fighting, which is us that are not like them. I want you to understand that these people have a game and they are evil at it. Now, this man is spending government money, resources to acquire weapons, acquire guns, acquire vehicles, acquire RPG, acquire tank. You remember he said tanks. He want to buy tanks. Tell me, does civilians need tanks? He said he want to acquire tanks. So the civilians, they are not even talking about arming them with rifles. He's also talking about tanks. So they are going to exploit the government. These people are creating these things deliberately to create this havoc among the people, so that you think that they are legitimately asking for arms. It's a lie. They are creating another set of bandits to equip them and make them arm them to the teeth. This money that is meant for the governance of the people, they will not use it for them. You heard him saying that his father and mother are still Fulani and that they are living in the bush. In this modern age, a governor is still talking about people living in the bush. You understand what I'm saying? So that means he is not even talking about civilization or development. He has no problem with people living in the bush. What are they doing in the bush? He wants to arm and equip people that are living in the bush to begin to join their own fellow brothers, because by the time their brothers will now see that they are armed, they will no longer attack them again, more weapons for them, and now they will begin to come to the south to carry out their jihadi, because all of them have the same agenda. This governor, his mother and father, the people, the civilians he want to buy weapons for, what is the agenda? The agenda is that everybody must become like them, become Muslim like them. But in Christianity, from our own side, we don't have that kind of agenda that everybody must be like us. We just want to be on our own. We are not interested in what other people will become, because what we are is already enough for us. So how are we going to be going after people to be like us? They have that agenda. This governor have that agenda. His father and mother have the same agenda. His relations, the civilians, have the same agenda. Now he wants to equip them with weapons to carry out that agenda that we are fighting against in our own side. He has no problem sending them, he has no problem of army coming into Biafra land. He has no problem about that. Because after all, the armies that are coming to Biafra land, they want to come and make sure that Christianity and our Omenala is destroyed, so that Fulanization will be equipped and established in Biafra land. We tell them they came late. We don't care about your cry, Mr. Governor. We have seen it all. You are all ndara. If you do whatever you do, that is your bloody fucking business. We don't care. We are BIAFRANS. When we defend our land, whatever befall you, let it continue. We don't care. You have supported the masterminded, the maiming and massacring of our people. Now, whatever you're going through, it is just you are playing. You are gaming. You cannot game us. So we'll protect our land. We'll defend our land. We'll fight for our cause. Biafra all the way. All hey Biafra. We move.
They were rough. Shibueze, can you hear me? Ford, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Brother Go.
Okay, Mazi, you have the mic. You're welcome.
Yeah, well done, my brother. I thank you. And Pastor Baba, no, Christian, I could not make it. You know why? My goodness me. I could not make it to Finland because the first time I booked my ticket and it was cancelled. So this time I couldn't get permission from my job place. I felt it. I really did felt it. But
no problem.
I watched it, and it was a success beyond my imagination. It was a huge success.
You're welcome.
Huge.
At the top of the hour, I have another engagement at the top of the hour. Thank you, Master Christian.
Yeah. So, should I go on?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, obviously, I don't know where to start from, but I'm so grateful, and it was a success beyond measure, and we're just moving. There's no stopping this trend. We are just heading towards the promised land. Let the zoo continue to pretend and continue to act in oblivion, act as if they don't know that something is happening, but they know that something is happening, pretending. With the zoo journalists and media, whatever, let them continue. Okay, because we are moving. So obviously, who was this guy? I saw. Yes. So everything is shaking up. The entire humanity is shaking up, all for the coming of Biafra. But for a carnal mind, it be hard to understand that what is happening, all the Obayaras, all the katakata, out of it is Biafra going to come out, and people will see that the kingdom of Chukwuka Abiyama is coming. But there has to be all this katakata. Even FFK was saying, I think about 2 days ago, trying to, this is the same guy during the election who said, that they are now with the Fulanis, and that there won't be a division among them anymore because of politics, that the Igbos are now welcome in Lagos. This 2 days ago, he was now again fighting them because all their gang up, all their conspiracy against Biafrans is turning on their head. When Gumi is telling them that this and this and that Christian cannot be trusted, that Southerners cannot be trusted with power, everything, that says so many things. And now for me, who said that he is one, that the Southwest is one with the Northerners, that they will be asunder among them again. Because in all this whole thing, but as they are throwing that stone, it's bouncing and coming back to them. Because our hands are clean. We didn't do them. No, absolutely nothing from the get-go. Just to be free as a people and live in peace with others. But they say no, that we've captured, you have to stay there. So obviously what is happening, and more is coming because we are heading home. So for let me just say this quickly, because I was talking with a Biafran today. I said, look, we are on a stage where we're in a kind of liberation phase, right? So therefore we have one leader for now, which is our PM. Everybody has to fall in line. If nobody is infallible, I can make mistake. Anybody can make mistake. So if you made a mistake and you are given some form of punishment or suspension, humble yourself, serve it out, and you come back and join in the struggle, because join in the liberation, because it's all about Biafra. All Maz Awonyendu knows that it's all about Biafra. Maz Samonekpa knows it's all about Biafra. Nothing comes in between. So anybody who has issue, deal with it, serve your suspension, serve your reprimand, whatever it is, you come back and we keep on going until we get to the promised land. Biafrans are Republican by nature. There's going to be dissenting voices but then let it be, when we're in Biafra, we can deal with that. But for now, there has to be a leader that everybody has to follow with. No matter how big, no matter the ego, drop your ego aside. Let's work with the PM because he has the mandate. He has the blueprint. So thank you, Biafra, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Biafrans. Biafrans, I want everybody to understand that whatever is going on now is going on because we are looking for our freedom. If we are not fighting these people that want to kill us, that want to send us into IDP camps, and then later on come there to kill us all, nobody would have made you enemy. No military would be seen in your land. Our land would have been open. Only the Fulanese. I want you to remember one thing. Before this militarization of our land, before, They were not there, remember. It was only when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu launched ESN. It was until the ESN were launched. Then waiting be their name. The ones where they carry what do you call them? Cow, malu, they run because they could not stand our men. Then they said, okay, if you pursue our brothers out, we are going to send them in uniform so that they will be able to penetrate. Then they gave a law that everybody with weapon, if you have any form of arm, you should surrender it to the government, to the police, to the army. If not, they will come raiding and they find you, they carry you. And they did. And many people surrendered their weapons, and those that did not, they went to their homes one by one, raided them and carried them away talking. They made sure they take away every dime, to the point that they began to ask people to return their cutlasses to the police stations. So you will not have anything to fight back when they come. But thank God ESN is here. Not only ESN now. We have Biafra Liberation Army, National Guard, Air Force, Marine, this one, call it name, they are there. Special Force, Practical Force, they are all there and equipped. The governor that is crying, me, I'm not interested in his motives, but I just want us to know that there are very important points he made there. Me, I know send them. If they want born in community, make them born me, no consign me. But something he said here, that those people that volunteer themselves to fight against whoever they are fighting for are the people that their mothers has been raped, their sisters have been raped, their mothers has been killed, their papa there has been killed, their family have been wiped out, his communities have been sent into IDP camp. He cannot even have access to his home again. So he has nothing to lose but to join the army to free his land. And you are here fighting me. You are here fighting Mazi Simon Ekpa. You are here. You don't want to do anyone, do fund, na lie. Do your donation. Share our video. Support what you are doing. No way. If I support you, go become rich. It's not about being rich. It's about our freedom. It's not about any person or anybody or any group of people. It's about our freedom. And that reminds me, I want us to remember that this coming Saturday again, we have our fund to raise.
BIAFRANS all over the world. Let us continue to support Eastern Security Network and Biafra Liberation Army. Every day they stand in the gap to defend us and only need our support to do the work they do. For the safety, security, and freedom of our communities. Let us do this together. Go to www.ipobinUSA.org/DONATE. Also go to www.biafrarepublicgov.org/DONATE, where you can pay your liberation tax. We also accept donations on PayPal and Zelle. Just use the email address biafragov.org@gmail.com. For those in USA, we also accept donations or Cash App at $BIAFRAGOV. Freedom is not free, and together we restore it.
So as we begin to round up, Mazi Ford, I want you to just say something before we go, I beg.
Okay. Yes. My appeal is to every Biafran to keeping on with this effort. We are moving, and It's a big hurdle, but we have a capable hand leading this movement, whom God has ordained for this purpose. When in fact the action was not even there, I knew it. I was telling everybody, please, 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 for Christ's sake, do not fight Simon Ekpa. 2 years ago, thereabout, I was telling many of them on their platform, don't do it because you will lose. And everything is playing out. It's all playing out. All of them from A to Z. I came to their platform. I tell them, don't do this because it's like you are fighting the wrong, So, but we just have to keep thanking God for giving us this capable hand. It's not ordinary. It is not accident. It's a design. Everything that is happening is a design. So Biafra, home and abroad, you must fall in line because you can't even stop it. It's ordained. Was it today or yesterday? I had a brother who was saying something regarding the so-called leaders, the governors, and I think it's very clear. It's obvious that some of them, they are not Biafrans. Some of them were given birth by the Fulanis. Because if you try to penetrate or destroy a nation, this is what you do. You get into them, produce your offspring among them, and be able to infiltrate. The likes of all Jews of Kalo, I'm very suspicious of people like this. The likes of Upuzodema and the Okorocha and some other ones. So, but again, where they fail woefully is that Biafra is a project in the hand of God. Therefore, you can't, I'll keep saying it, God will shake up the entire humanity, the entire earth to achieve his objective. But these guys, because how on earth do you do, knowing fully well the history of what they are planning against Biafran, and you say you're a Biafran, and you are the one inviting the people to come and kill your own people. When all Jews Akalo was saying that Buhari was going to come with Tukano, it was like a joke, and they came. Imagine if we did not have our men on the ground now, would have all be gone. Everything would be, oh my goodness. Hope Uzodema and the rest of them. They don't have the interests of Biafrans at heart. They simply don't. Look at the roads. So when you see some of the roads in our areas, with all the money they are getting, they don't even want to develop it because they don't have the interests of the people or the land at heart. For them, it's all about helping the invaders, helping the Fulanis, the conquest, to conquer us. That is their primary objective. But thank God that they fail already. Biafrans, you have to open your eyes to know that your enemy are the ones who claim to be your political leaders. They are not. They are not your leader, they are your enemies, your Hanezes. But yeah, we thank God. We thank Chuko Okabiama.
Thank you, Mazu, go for the opportunity you gave us to share this particular video and to open the eyes of our people. Yeah, thank you so much. Please, I would also like to have a copy of those videos so that I would digest it properly and thoroughly, dissect it very well in our next broadcast. I just touch them up, left, right. We need to deal with that. These are evil plan they are trying to do, pretending as if they don't know what's happening in our side, and yet they are calling out the same thing we have been calling out. At the same time, they are supporting the mayhem and massacre going on in our land. Mazugo, thank you. Please, can you help me send the videos privately so that I will also analyze it privately?
The videos are too long.
I know. I will go through them and I'll pick the ones I want.
No, to send it is only
the link. Just send me the link.
Okay, I will do that. No, okay,
just the link.
Okay, so Biafrans, must say thank you so much. Thank you so much for being there for us. And I want you to know that this time around, so many things might be coming up, so many things might be coming down. I want us to keep our eyes on the ball. Like I used to tell you, anything Mazi Simon Ekpa, our Prime Minister, where we elect no tell you to do. That thing not exist. You know, he once said that, and not once, he always tell us that anything we don't discuss, that thing is not existing.
Doesn't fly.
So when you know hear and from him, that is not the work. Not lie. So we must to keep our heads up and keep your eyes on the ball. Don't come in to ask me anything. If you did not hear anything from our PM, that is no, you don't bother calling me, because that thing is not true. It's not existing. We must to keep our heads up. At this point, we will not allow anything to distract us. We will never allow anything to distract us. Even all those, if we both those where they draw speech, we don't pass their level. After this convention, we have advanced. Like I always said, we have changed gear. We are no longer changing gear. We have changed the gear. We are now advanced, and we are now moving towards the next level. Like you heard our PM said, things are starting to unveil, and the unveiling have never even started. It's just about to begin. That unveiling of the army, this one, that one, not beginning. Relax. Only support what we are doing. Remember again, Saturday in our fundraising. Saturday in our fundraising. No forget. Support in any way you can support. Even if you don't have money to give, don't use your data to go and watch things that are not even, cannot benefit you. Use that data, come into the Zoom, sit there with us. That is your own contribution. You can be in the Zoom 1 hour, 30 minutes, as long as your data permits you. Instead of using your data to go and watch some useless fool, we're going to tell you something about one night. Don't listen to them. Things you will listen and get angry again. We move, people. I must say again, thank you so much. Saturday is our fundraising, and I must say goodbye from here, and goodbye.
Biafra Republic, peace, unity, progress, and equity. What we do is spiritual. You must go and listen to Simon Ekpa, who is doing a very fantastic job. Very great job that Simon Ekpa is doing. Very, very, absolutely fantastic job that he's doing. You must listen to him and share his videos accordingly. Very, very important. He is bringing a new dimension to this very awareness that we are making, and you must listen to him. Very, very important.